All right, so today we're taking a look at this cordless pool vacuum. This is going to be the one by TEGUY, and you can see here that it is very lightweight and small. So this is going to be good if you don't want that heavy vacuum feel. I mean, that's what you're basically buying this for, because you're looking at these cordless handheld vacuums. This piece right here is going to pop off, so if you wanted to use it for inside of your spa or inside of your jacuzzi, you could use this attachment. It's also good if you're trying to work on the walls of your pools. Otherwise, I would recommend switching it out and using this other attachment. This one right here is going to be your pole extension, and it's going to go all the way up to 7.5 feet. Really easy to use, to pop on. All you got to do is just press these little pins in, push it down like this, and there you go, you're ready to use it. Now on the inside here, let's go ahead and take a look at the filter that's on here. This will pop off like that. Then you've got your filter here on the inside. One thing you're gonna notice with this filter is it's gonna be a very thin, fine filter. It's almost like a microfiber cloth, and you can see it's nice and thick. This is going to pick up those fine particles. So if you've got sand, dust, dirt, anything lightweight, this is really going to capture it. And you can even see here, this is some old stuff that was left in there. It really gets stuck up against those walls. Now, when it comes to cleaning this, I would recommend just getting like some Dawn dish soap and go ahead and spray it down with some water. Leave it out in the sun to dry, and then you'll make sure this is clean every time you use it. Now, this is the piece where it's going to collect a majority of the other stuff, and you can kind of just like dump this stuff out. But let's go ahead and put this filter back on. There's two parts that you need to connect. You got your tab right up here at the top. You just pull that over, and then you got one down here at the bottom, and you pull that over the top. Then over here, you can see this is the brush head. So I love the design on this. It's a triangular design, which is great to get into those corners. Also, it's kind of flat up here at the top, so you can push it up against the wall directly. But it's also got a longer, more flat side here, which you can use this to angle against the side of the pool. And then at the bottom, you've got these brushes, which is nice because it's going to kick up that dirt that's stuck at the bottom. You've got rollers, which makes it nice and easy to push across the bottom of the pool. But honestly, because of the fact that this is so lightweight, it's the rollers, not that big of a deal, honestly, to have those or not have those. I feel like this makes it really easy to just push across because it's so lightweight. Okay, now we're going to push that filter in, and what I always recommend is making sure that you've got this upright and this upright as well. It just makes it a lot easier for you to align this and get it into place. Then from here, we're going to pull this up. This will snap on, and then now it's ready to go. So we'll go ahead and get this in the pool, but first thing real quick, it's an hour and a half to charge, and that's going to give you 60 minutes of runtime. So that'll give you about 4 to 5, maybe even 6 uses, depending on how long you use it for. I say I usually end up using it for about 5 minutes a day, so I probably get closer to like 10 uses out of it. But if you're doing like a full pool sweep every time, I would say about 4 to 5 uses per charge. And you just charge it right here. This is the off and on switch. You just open that up. It's always going to be like that. Make sure that this is actually dried out before you plug it in so you don't get electrocuted, but you're just going to plug that in right there and then let it charge for about an hour and a half. Now, when you've got it in the pool, you always want to make sure that you push this down and submerge it into the water first, because you're going to want to make sure that the motor part fills up with water. You do not want this to be out and dry with no water in it when you turn it on. So I always recommend dunking it in first, leaving it down here. Now you can go ahead and turn it on, and you'll see the bubbles start to come out. So if you come around this way, you can go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and clean up this section right here. I'll let the water settle. And when you push this, you want to make sure that you're pushing slow, because you don't want to kick the dirt up. Otherwise, it's going to go up and then settle back down on the pool. So you want to go across as slow as you can. And you'll see as I get close to the dirt here, you're going to see all that dirt getting gravitated towards the pool vacuum. So let's go ahead and start working on this little section right here. And you can see all of that is clearing out. There's like a little clear section right in front of it. And let's go ahead and go across this right here. All right, take a look at that. You literally one pass and almost 90% of everything was picked up. There was one large leaf that we didn't get, but what I usually do is I'll just do another pass backwards like this and try to get everything. Okay, let's pull it out and let's see what we collected. Another thing here is when you pull it out, you want to make sure that you shut that motor off right away. the more that the motor is on while it's not in the pool is going to lower the life of the motor. So you want to make sure that as soon as you get out of the pool, you want to turn that off immediately. That's what's going to make this thing actually last. So let's pull it open. All we got to do is, again, the reverse of what we did earlier. We got to pop that piece off. Go ahead and dump the water out. We're gonna take our filter off the top with these rubber tabs, and look at everything that we got. We got all these leaves, we got twigs, we've got so much in here, and this was from one pass. I mean, it literally got everything. You can see that the ground is nice and clear. So we were really able to get almost every little thing up out of here, which was nice. And now if you look at the filter, you're gonna see all that fine particles and dirt. We've got palm trees here in the backyard, so we get a lot of these really small, tiny pieces of dust and dirt that get collected here in the filter. So that's why I love utilizing this vacuum specifically, is because of the power of it, plus these little filters really get everything. And like I said earlier, you are able to just clean this out by just spraying this off with the hose, throwing this stuff away in your garbage can. And then if you wanted to really get it clean, you could use a little bit of dish soap in there. But otherwise, I think it's fine, honestly, just to spray it down with the hose. Then we can go ahead and just attach this back on like we did earlier, and then get to using it again. Now, like I said, I really like the fact that this is kind of like a triangle shape, because you can see right here, I could really glide this up here against the corners without much effort. And I am able to do this all with one hand. You don't necessarily need to use both of your hands, because it does glide across pretty easy. And pretty much all of these pool vacuums that are cordless like this and handheld, you really don't need to use much pressure or anything like that. You're just kind of like helping it go across. But if you really wanted to push down and make sure that you're pushing that dirt with the bristles, then I would recommend using a second hand to kind of push this down. But you can see that shape, that design of the triangular head right there is really going to work great on these types of corners, especially if you've got a pool that's more rounded. This jacuzzi we have right here is a complete circle, so it's really easy to get up against those edges with this right here. So if you're looking for a pool vacuum that is really easy to use straight out of the box, I would definitely recommend this one, because all you got to do is literally connect the filter, connect the head, and then pick your handle attachment, and it's basically ready to be used. Again, this one's going to be 18.5 GPM and 1.5 hours to charge, and then you're going to get about 60 minutes of use time. So you don't really have to worry too much about charging this that often, especially if you're always just spot cleaning your pool 5-10 minutes here and there. You really probably only can need to charge this like once a week at the maximum. The filter on here is nice because it does pick up those fine particles, and also the fact that this pole does extend all the way up to 7'3". So if you do have a deeper pool, it'll work. And they even made this to where this is a universal attachment. So if you've got a longer pole, maybe for a skimmer or something like this, this is a normal pool pole attachment. So you could even attach a longer pole on there. Or if you have some other type of attachment, like a handle or anything like that, you can easily attach that on there as well. I've tested tons of different pool vacuums, and this one has got to be one of my favorites just because of the ease of use, and it actually has pretty strong, powerful suction. So for the price point, I think it is a major competitor to a lot of the other ones out there. So easy to use. You just take it out of the box, plug it in, and basically get to using it right away. This also does come with additional filters as well. So I only have one in here right now, but we also have some additional filters that came with it. So if you're looking for a handheld pool vacuum, something that's lightweight, easy to use, and very powerful, I would definitely recommend picking one of these up.